Welcome back to the podcast. It's Servant Sonic. Oh, it's your boy. What's up? It's Hunter here, but I'm also joined by my lovely, handsome co-host. We got Mr. Lee Bader. How are you, Lee?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. We also got the Jake and glorious Bastarde, Mr. Jake Swain. How are you, sir?
I'm well, thank you so much, Hunter.
Oh, good to freaking hear, boys. I have missed both of you so much so, and it's been quite a while. You know, we've got some news. We've got a new banner made by Lee, of course, the lovely Lee, the talent that he is. It's like us in watercolor. So if you like paintings and you like three diverse podcast co-hosts, maybe you'll see us graffitied all over Toronto one day. That's the hope. Lads, I'm here.
I don't think we look super diverse, though. Sorry to cut in.
Oh no, that's okay. True. I mean,
like we're pasty.
I'm the cultural diversity in the group. I will take that title welcomely. But you know, us in watercolor, us in color in 4K, it's something else. But gentlemen, I'm here to introduce actually a topic that I heard on talk radio. Getting into the topic, have you ever been kicked out of an all-you-can-eat place? Has that ever happened to you?
I don't think I've ever been to an all-you-can-eat place.
That's not
true. Or is the... Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure you and I have been to an all-you-can-eat sushi joint together.
Oh, I guess sushi, yes. Sushi,
yeah.
yes.
And was there a time limit?
No, but there is you have to pay for what you don't finish.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how they get you.
Like you can't pay for stuff and be like, you can take this back with sushi. That would be outrageous.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Could you imagine getting that? Like, you're the next person in, and they're like, oh, yeah, you want to know what? Someone actually just didn't finish their California roll.
Well, you can have
Would
that.
you like these 3 saucy-ass California rolls that have been sitting on someone's plate, and then we've had under a heat lamp for... Would you have to heat lamp sushi? I guess
drenched
not.
in soy sauce?
No.
I guess not, no.
Yeah, if anything, you'd have to ice sushi.
Yeah. It's
keep
been on
it
ice.
Fresh, I guess, yeah.
No, don't worry. We've had these 3 pieces of California roll on ice this entire time, so don't worry.
I'd be like, I'm down.
Yeah, I know you would.
Well, there was this one time, Lee, you were in Guelph when there was the W Sushi that's near Silver Creek?
I fucked up W Sushi.
Dude, so it was me and this other...
Right beside the beer store. It was the perfect setup.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. No, dude, yeah. Get your beer, get some sushi in you.
I have a friend who used to go to all-you-can-eat sushi and halfway through go to the bathroom and puke it all up so that he could eat more.
Yep. I've had a friend like that as well.
Sounds like a smart guy.
But what was funny was that it was me and another rugby player, a good friend of mine, and we went, this is before they had a time limit, and I swear, we probably stayed for like three hours, and it was like dark outside by the time we get out, because we just kept having food, because they didn't kick us out. And then I think it was slowly after a time, I saw at the bottom of the menu, it was like, hey, there's like this 2-hour limit, and I thought to myself, I'm like, hey, did we do that? Did we influence this sushi chain to have a 2-hour time limit? But we will never know. The mystery still lives on.
Yeah, you just sit there and just wait to like, because you know how like with sushi you kind of get hungry again, like, you know, like an hour later,
like a second win kind of thing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It would be hilarious if like like that's how you like just kind of went through your day. If you were like, yeah, you want to what? Like, I'm gonna get up and go to the washroom. Gonna really hang out in there for a bit, come back, you know, maybe I'll bring my work with me, and like I'm gonna have my 3 meals here, and they're just gonna be sushi meals.
You treat it like a freaking coffee shop, like a laptop.
Yeah,
exactly. And just hang out. You're like, oh, I'm just gonna be waiting.
You're working from the sushi joint.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah. That's an interesting question too. Like, what's the weirdest place someone has like sat down? Like, weirdest like public place that someone has sat down and been like, I'm gonna do my day's work here today.
I feel like it happens more than you think, maybe. Like,
but like odd places, like, because like cafe is not odd.
Cafe's like typical now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a funeral home.
Exactly.
God.
Yeah, or
a water park.
Like specific locations of the funeral home would be funnier. Like if you're like in the part where they're like putting the makeup on the dead bodies and shit, and someone's just like in the corner being fucked. That would be pretty.
Well, I'm trying to think of other places.
Yeah, have you ever seen someone like in a place where you're like, that's weird. Why are you working here? I thought the subway was kind of weird, but then I was like, when you think about
Like
it,
wait,
maybe
like
it's not.
Subway sandwiches?
No, like the Subway. Subway sandwiches is a cafe.
Arguably, it's a sandwich experience, man.
And a bakery.
Yes.
It was the same sushi place, but we went with this guy that wasn't part of our original crew, and we went for lunch, and the dude straight up orders wine in the afternoon. I just found that very strange. Like,
What a
who does
madman.
that?
I get it.
Like, he's like swirling it and stuff, and I'm like, dude, like, this is not the time and place. Like, in the afternoon to have some wine.
I have a cool story, bro, type moment right now that I'm going to go into, but it's funny either way for me, so I don't care. So, thing about drinking wine during the day, have you ever done a wine tour?
I have not, no. I want to, though.
Like a, wine area of Ontario or BC or Alberta or wherever. Well, we did in the Okanagan when I was living out in British Columbia, and you just like realize that most people like that, frequent those areas or whatever are just like fully functional like alcoholics. They're just day drunk all the time. Just all the time. And you just fit right in. That's what I'm trying to say. You're like, so, but in terms of the swirling, you feel like you have to swirl. You do. Like you feel like you have to put on.
Is everyone doing
persona.
It too? Is everyone doing it like in the group? And you're like, well, I have to do it now.
Look, I'm swirling my brass monkey.
You just feel a pressure to be like,
water.
I have to look like I'm doing something.
A lot of this stuff, I smell the taste the wood.
Because the thing is when you do like a wine test or whatever, like a wine tasting, is like someone will come out from the place and like, be like, what you're gonna taste is like, or what you're gonna get hints of this or that. And the entire time it's like, dude, I'm fucking hammered. I'm not gonna taste shit.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. You could say this is a rosé and hand me like the darkest fucking wine I've ever seen in my life, and I would believe you because I'm drunk. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like it's a funny experience where you're just kind of like, look, I know, we all know.
We're here to get wasted.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, especially if you're going through like
it's like the most adult way to get away with just doing that.
The sophisticated way, you should say.
I thought the kind of protocol with wine tastings was you like spit, like you like taste it and then you you have a little spittoon.
I haven't seen any of that personally, but I do know that that's a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, when is it? What if you choose the inappropriate time to do that? What if you like take a sip of the wine, you spit in it, and it's similar to the sushi take back thing? It's like, look, we can't just take this spit out wine all of a sudden, sir. You're gonna have to finish that. Yeah,
lap it up.
Yeah, come on, sip it back.
Finish it now. Do it with straw now.
I don't know what does disgusting sound like that. Anyways, we're getting off topic here.
Yeah, we're getting off topic. Well, anyway, that was the topic there. That was the topic for today. Nice. Getting into the review, I had to do this one, guys. I had to do this one. Being radio students, of course, me and Lee, as soon as a buddy of mine told me, he's like, dude, Jim Carrey is like the host of this radio show for the Weeknd. I was like, well, I have to check this out. And so we will be doing, of course, Dawn FM, the Weeknd's 5th album. And we will intro it with the song Gasoline. Lee, if you could cue that up for me, let's take a listen.
Let's do it.
It's 5 a.m. my time again. I've soaken up the moon, can't sleep. It's 5 a.m. my time again. I'm calling and you know it's me. I'm pushing myself further. I'm just trying to feel my heartbeat beat. I wrap my hands around your neck. You love it when I always squeeze. It's 5 a.m. I'm high again, and you can see that I'm in pain. I've fallen into emptiness. I want you cause we're both insane. I'm staring into the abyss. I'm looking at myself again. I'm dozing off to REM. I'm trying not to lose my faith. And I love it when you watch me sleep. You spin me around so I can breathe. It's only safe for you and me. I know you won't let me OD. And if I finally die in peace, just wrap my body in these sheets and pour out the gasoline. It don't mean much to me. It's 5 a.m. I'm nihilist. I know there's nothing after this. Obsessing over aftermath, apocalypse and hopelessness. The only thing I understand is your sum of tenderness. Oh baby, please just hold me close, make me believe there's more to live. Around we go. In this game called life, we are loving. And I love it when you watch me sleep. You spin me around so I can breathe. It's only safe for you and me. I know you won't let me OD. And if I finally die in peace, just wrap my body in these sheets and pour out the gasoline. It don't mean much to me.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, Hunter, classic mute moment.
Thank you once again. Oh my god. It's early, guys. It's early. Actually, no, it's late. That's on me.
It's super early.
Gasoline, The Weeknd. Now, I'm not going to go too crazy into the background because the lovely Mo had already done that for us. Shout out to the Shoot the Ship podcast. But, The Weeknd's been on a tear with, performing for the Super Bowl, along with successful features, not to mention Kanye West's Donda, and FKA Twigs with Tears in the Club. This project it was actually released with little to no fanfare, came out January 7th, 2022, sees The Weeknd release a concept record called Dawn FM. With the success of Blinding Lights and kind of that 80s synth, he kind of divin head first, dove, thank you.
Doved
into
Dove cried.
delved into the dove cried into that 80s style synth, opening into
Dove
the
crafted.
first track, which kind of has that the opening of the album of like the spacey kind of hazy like it's kind of building off like a lot of Starboy kind of stuff, but along with that 80s synth, what I really like. So building on the success of After Hours, it's got that range of R&B, of course. It's a pop record. It's got some funk, and it's got all these infectious grooves. The whole album is a vibe. But here's the question. What is the actual concept at work here? So here's a quote from Abel, aka The Weeknd. Picture the album being like the listener is dead, and they're stuck in this purgatory state, which I always imagined would be like stuck in traffic. They got a radio station playing in the car, with a radio host guiding you to the light and helping you transition to the other side. So it could feel celebratory, or it could feel bleak. However you want it to make it feel. But that's what Dawn is for me. So it's this sense of purgatory, waiting for the gates to open, and that's kind of relatable, especially with the COVID-19 pandemic taking over, of course, 2 years out of our lives. The producers involved, you got, of course, The Weeknd, but perhaps one of the heavy hitters is Max Martin. Written 25 Billboard #1 songs, including the Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way, little known track.
Banger.
Also, Britney Spears, Hit Me Baby One More Time, a little known track. And NSYNC's It's Gonna Be Me, just another.
It's gonna be me.
Oh,
Thank
fuck,
you,
you got
Lee.
there like a second
Oh,
before me.
boom! Yeah, I was waiting for it. We also have Calvin Harris, Swedish House Mafia,
those
longtime
guys.
collaborator Oscar Holter.
That's my second favorite musical Mafia, by the way, behind 3-6, of course.
3-6 Mafia. Oh, dude! Shout out to the old days. It's a fight.
I wish I could claim that joke, but that's something that a friend said
Oh, is that what he
a
said?
decade ago when Swedish House Mafia was a thing, and I died laughing. That's still one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. But let's pretend I said it. Let's pretend I said it first.
You did say.
Yeah, you just said it now. We have the proof. An experimental electronic musician, Daniel. Oh, I'm gonna get this wrong. Daniel Eelpoolin, aka Othxhello, a point never. Did I get that wrong?
No, one
God.
trick. Say it, Jake. Say it, Jake.
Othxhello.
One tricks point never.
Noise.
Thank you.
He's been on the show. Well, he hasn't been on the show, but we've
Well, he's helping me out.
covered.
So it's got a lot of firepower, and why wouldn't it? After the course of After Hours, but each song and the meanings coming to terms with The Weeknd's past traumas. With that song "Gasoline," there in the music video, he's actually The Weeknd's crashing the same car that was in the music video for "The Hills." And he is shown fighting his own ego, introducing the two main topics of his career that he's often associated with is drugs and heartbreak. And it's got that club-like feel. But, personally, the songs, they bleed into one another brilliantly. Being a concept record, it's touching upon kind of Abel's, all his past traumas. And then it's also got this middle point where it's actually a voice, like a voiceover story, kind of an interlude done by Quincy Jones, talking about his past trauma, where he's talking about his mom. He remembers when he's a little kid of his mom getting taken to a mental institution where it was him and his dad only, and The Weeknd can empathize with that because he was in a household with one parent as well. I found it interesting that Jim Carrey is on the album. They actually have similar traits, for they were both successful coming from Canada, but they came into an industry that places identities and ideas over who they really are. Of course, Jim Carrey is being the wacky person, but now he's kind of become this more introspective person. With the heavy 80s inspiration, it could be said that The Weeknd is taking a lot of influence, from various films, and we're actually going to get into this next track here, Less Than Zero, where it's it's a novel from 1985, but it was turned into a movie in 1987, starring, among the cast, there's Robert Downey Jr. But the plot follows a boy named Clay who returns home from Princeton to Los Angeles for Christmas break. Upon returning to his past, everyone has become nihilistic, and the author gives a glimpse into the characters who have everything they desire, but they want more, kind of like what Hollywood is. And Clay is participating in every part of the hedonistic lifestyle living in Hollywood until he can't take it anymore. The connection is that with The Weeknd, he revisits himself in Dawn FM, just as Clay revisited himself for the winter break. They both conclude that none of this was their true identity, for Dawn FM is about the acceptance of oneself. So, a funny fact that I also learned from this, delving into this review, is that The Weeknd actually put out a tweet saying that we're in the midst of another trilogy, After Hours being the first record, and this one being the next one, before what's actually interspliced with the songs are some of these cool radio breaks that Jim Carrey does, and I won't spoil them here. But he says stuff like "Don't touch that dial, we're coming back," or like "Welcome to the middle of nowhere," kind of similar to Queens of the Stone Age, what they did with their kind of radio concept, which I absolutely loved. But what else can I say? Yeah, we got that.
Is After Hours? Sorry, with After Hours, I thought there was some sort of thing where After Hours like represents hell or like.
Yeah, and I'm grateful that you touched on that, Lee, because I actually, and this is just a hypothesis of mine, but it's kind of like he's recreating Dante's Inferno with hell in the excesses, and you can kind of see with the color red that's playing into it, and then of course the picture for this album is the Weeknd reimagined as like an old man, but also the colors of gray that are associated with purgatory. So it's like the album is playing basically on repeat, and it's about the acceptance of himself through his past traumas.
Well, so
yes.
Question on that. So on the Gasoline, you know, when we were playing Gasoline, I have the album art up there, and we throw the album art. So the album art for this one, that was actually the original proposed album art for the album, and then it changed to him being old. Let me see if I can.
If we can find that, or put that up for the YouTube, that'd be great.
Yeah, let me see if I can upload a file real quick.
Well, sorry. Here, so you're saying that the original like album art is of him as the old man? Am I getting that right?
Yeah, I won't be able to do it, unfortunately. Oh well, but yeah, so
it's okay.
When it was uploaded, when we were listening to the song, it was up there. So, anyways, just thought that was interesting. That it's yeah. I don't know what his like what his vision was for the album. Does that, if that makes sense? I don't really know.
Yeah. Well, I think honestly the vision is, and I'll actually stop taking a look at the book here, but delving into this review, honestly it's like a literal English essay, because I think the Weeknd is aware of who he was back then in his self-image, and now he's starting to shed all of that away, getting to who he really is. So he's actually matured beyond his relationships. Each song is dealing with, kind of the acceptance of getting over someone that has been in a past relationship with, overall leading to nirvana as a sense. And it's even, I think one of the songs is, you might have to remind me here, but it's like something about angels. And I'll look it up shortly, probably after we play the next song.
Yeah.
But you hear this over-the-top radio break that says, like, listen to Afterlife. And that is the next album that will be in line after this one. So expect that. That's just a guess, though. That could be a guess. But the next album, it might be Afterlife, where it's maybe a sense of nirvana that the Weeknd has arrived at, because he's gained a sense of peace of dealing with the past traumas throughout each song, being that of the concept record. I listened to all of this in one sitting, and all I can say is that if you're into like spacey 80s synth pop with an element of funk, R&B, and soul, you're definitely going to love this one. Don't just buy one song. I would say you got to buy the whole album, kind of to experience it all. And honestly, concept records are a labor of love. It's like a whole theatrical production. At the end of the album, it features an outro by Jim Carrey, basically saying, that you have to come to terms and peace with your past regrets in life. And I won't spoil the whole little monologue for you, but one of the iconic lines that it ends with is, "You got to be heaven to see heaven." And you can interpret that how you wish, but my own kind of catharsis, or not catharsis, my own introspection would be that you have to kind of come to terms with all your past mistakes and live life with no regrets, because this is the one you have. And you should, and there are no regrets, frankly, but you also got to do what you love, because this is the one life we do have.
There you go.
I could honestly go on and on. Yeah, go ahead, please.
I have the album cover. Sorry, one sec. Let me see if it lets me share my screen. Can you see this?
Yeah, I think. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Sick. So yeah, this is.
It's so sick.
yeah, this is what the original one was supposed to be. But you can see the concept still in it, like you're talking.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could, I don't know, and maybe even from this image, you can see that road there is gray, and that to me is purgatory. That's how long, and you basically stay in purgatory until you have you've realized and you can make peace with all the mistakes that you have made.
Yeah.
And what's very interesting about Jim Carrey as a person is that if you've seen recent interviews with Jim Carrey, he talks about like that nothing matters, and there was a point where he was on an island. It's on the Graham Norton show, and the missiles were going off, or there was an evacuation warning to get into the bunker before missiles were going off on a tropical island. But he was too far away, and so he was going to he was with someone that he loved, and they said, well, we should like maybe get in this car. And he said, I'm not going to die in my car. And he basically just looked up to the sky and he said, this is it. If I die, like, this is where I'm at. And he was content and at peace with everything around him. And I thought that was so fascinating because here's a movie star that, you know, has everything, pursued his passion. And here he is at the end of his life saying that nothing really matters anymore. Nothing matters except the love that we share with one another, and he was at peace with himself, and it's honestly quite astounding. I still have to read his book, but I could go on and on, guys. But I want to conclude with the last song. I thought the beginning and end would just be a good marking point. This is Less Than Zero by The Weeknd on FM. Take a listen.
Remember, I was your hero. Yeah, I'd wear your heart like a symbol. I couldn't save you from my darkest truth of all. I know I'll always be less than zero. Oh yeah, you tried your best with me, I know. I couldn't face you with my darkest truth of all. Cause I can't get it out of my head. No, I can't shake this feeling that grows in right there. I try to hide it, but I know you know me. I try to fight it, but I'd rather be free. Oh yeah. Can we meet in the middle? Oh yeah. Cause you were just like me before. Now you'd rather leave me than to watch me die in your arms. But I can't get it out of my head. No, I can't shake this feeling that grows in right there. lessons you broke. You tried your best with me, I know.
Bang, bang.
Boom.
Oh, Hunter, you've done it to yourself again. You've just...
To myself, because I thought, well, because I always
It'll
press...
unmute for you.
I didn't know that. That's just me being an idiot. I know. They're shaking their heads at me. I feel flustered. There we go.
Come on. Don't call yourself names.
Well, guys, if I had to give this one a rating, I think, I don't know. Honestly, it's such a complex record, and it's beautifully sounding. And even with maybe that last track there, you can hear kind of, even with just the note choices, that it sounds kind of like a reflection and coming to peace with things. I don't know, man. Starting off the second month of the year, I'm gonna give this one. Oh, dude, it's an 8. No, man. It's a 9. This is a 9 out of 10. Spacey synths.
Spacey synths.
Wow. Spacey synths.
Certainly that. Yeah.
I love the philosophy of it. I love how it's a concept. I love it's a concept record. The Weeknd sounds brilliant. It's like 80s pop reimagined into now. And everyone should listen to it. Is there any thoughts on Dawn FM? Have you guys listened to this one?
Of course. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also Jake's a huge Weeknd fan.
What'd you guys think?
For me, I kind of tuned the Weeknd out for a time.
Yeah.
Right around the Starboy phase, I was kind of like, that's cool. Like, that single was cool, but man, like, it kind of doesn't hold that much water for me. Like, it's very bombastic. And then I listened to this album just today on my walkabout, which I do daily.
Nice.
My daily walkabout. I go along this here wall.
Yeah.
I make sure there's no one trying to get in my wall.
Walking down the streets,
spray painting on my wall.
Yeah, this is my wall.
Yeah. Again, great audio content for just our strictly audio listeners.
Yeah.
Jake has this one of those virtual backgrounds here
of a lovely brick wall.
It's a virtual reality setting that I'm in right now.
Yeah,
it's like he's on the street.
So I look like I'm in a certain space, but it's virtual reality.
Right.
Classic.
And so that's pretty cool. But
you're keeping that wall tight on your walkabouts daily.
Exactly. And so I like to walk along the wall, and I just go up and down, and I sometimes climb
up.
You
go up the wall.
I sometimes climb up to the top and look over the other side.
Wow.
And so I was doing that, and I was listening to Dawn FM, and I was like, that voice is really familiar, and then Googled it and discovered that it's Jim Carrey.
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's awesome, but I have to shout out my best friend Conrad for doing it first, arguably doing it better. Playing DJ as an interlude between tracks. So, that's one thing. I also really
glad you did that.
Yeah. So, Conrad, if you're listening, which I know you're not,
which you never have,
which you never fucking have.
Yeah.
Just know that I see you, and
even when I see you, and even when you don't see me or listen to me,
I still see you
or watch me.
He's on the other side of this wall, so that's why.
Yeah. That's why you make sure no one gets
in. The signal
in.
doesn't make it across. Yeah.
Not my best friend. You're not getting in. And also musically, I thought it was a little bit more expansive and a little bit more adventurous than
his previous works. And I also thought the Quincy interlude was like
Sad.
really sad, like probably
Very sad.
but I also think the most grounded, like the most arresting, but sort of the most centering thing on the album. So yeah, all in all, I think as like a piece of art, this is probably my favorite thing that The Weeknd's done in the last, I don't know, since Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
The album, not the day of the week.
Well, yeah, but also the day. Considering that he probably all the stuff he released before Thursday was, well, then on Wednesday.
Well, I feel like it came out of the
earlier.
blue, right? Because he also did like an Amazon concert where he essentially DJs himself doing
Yeah.
the full album. And let's not forget to mention he's got 2 features, of course, Lil Wayne and Tyler, the Creator,
Yeah.
on certain tracks here. He's got it on.
Yeah.
Here we go again, and more. But Lee, what did you think?
So I personally like I've had like stages with The Weeknd personally. Like I really liked House of Balloons, but I didn't and like the trilogy series. I really like the trilogy series. House of Balloons being my favorite of that, which I think is pretty commonplace for most people. But I think like there was a lull there where I really like didn't like The Weeknd. And I think, you know, again, shouts out to our guy Mo, who joined the show.
Yeah.
He did Kissland as a spicy staple. I hate that album. I still hate
The
that
infamous,
album.
the infamous album that is probably
It's
really
polarizing.
much disliked.
It's polarizing. There's some like Weeknd fans who are like this album like set the stage for what we had and like what we continue to get. And then there's other people who I feel like I'm in that camp of like, this album sucks. Like, I don't like this album. And I kind of stand by that, unfortunately, even though Mo did like a good job of like expressing the other side. Yeah. I still think that was like a really big, like divot in his career. I think Starboy is probably another example of an album I really don't like. I think it was like way too long. I think a lot of like the songs that kind of blew up from it I think are like super boring. Like I personally don't like the song Starboy. I like the other Daft Punk one though. I can't remember what it's called. I feel it coming.
I feel it coming. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
I like I
Not
feel
bad.
it coming a lot.
That's a funky song. Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's ups and downs on that album, and Beauty Behind the Madness is a similar thing, ups and downs with that. Like I think that's where he really came into his own, as like having like these singles that like just go off, like because I Can't Feel My Face I think came off of that album, and that song.
Yep, that's it.
I remember when I heard that song for the first time, I was like, holy shit, this song's sick. And then it was like everywhere, and it was kind of like, yeah, that makes sense. Like I understand why this song is everywhere.
Yeah, my mom loved that song.
Slaps. The bass line in that song is incredible.
Oh yeah.
She would just text me, "I can't feel my face when I'm with you." Like those words. She would text me that like every morning.
Mom, get the fuck away from my wall. God damn it.
Yeah. Why do you think I built this wall?
Not in here, Mom. Not in here. So that kind of brings us up to where we are now, which I think he's actually hit a stride that I'm right back to really liking him again and what he's putting out. I think he's in the last couple of projects, this being his one and After Hours being
It's
the
like-
other, he's really started to
it's like
like cut
very
down
mature.
the fat. Yeah, he's really started to cut down like the unnecessary parts. I think of the album, and I think he's kind of found a sound that he was kind of always going after or always trying to achieve, but now he's just like doing it, and it's not as like muddled and not as like inconsistent, if that makes sense. Like that was my issue with Starboy. Is like there was like just like randomly like a trap song like halfway through the album. I'm like, this doesn't fit. This doesn't make sense with the rest of the stuff around it. And like that just doesn't exist on these albums. Like it's cohesive, they make sense, and the singles are still like awesome. Like Blinding Lights is so good. And
Yeah.
I think first single off this album, Take My Breath. Awesome. Love it. And like, but then you get songs like Sacrifice Now, which I think are really awesome songs, but like actually complement the rest of the album versus whatever that one with Future was on Starboy, where I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is literally just like, I have a song with Future. And anyway, so yeah, that's my take. I really like it. And I really like the where he's at right now.
I guess I couldn't help but it reminded me a lot of Random Access Memories off Daft Punk's last album, like
sure.
a very like going back to go forward in like this modern way.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm hooked now, so it'll be interesting to see what he does next with Afterlife.
Oh,
but there
fuck.
you go, guys.
I forgot to put the banner on. Hold up.
There it is.
Anyway, we're doing Dawn FM. But yeah, anyway, I guess we can move on to our next segment. It is, of course, our lovely Jake Swain will be doing the, what's it called? Lee, I need your help.
With what?
The jingle. What's our thing called?
Oh.
What's the...
Spicy Staple.
Yeah, but in the traditional way that we do it. Of like,
Oh, our acapella?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I need to hear
So I'll
some
go.
of that.
Spicy. Yes, it's a spicy. It's a spicy. It's a spicy. It's a
It's the spicy stable where
you
one of us picks an album that is close to our heart, and we get to hear about it. And Jake, what do we have for you? What do you have for us today?
We have an album by SUUNS. Two U's makes it SUUNS. You'd think it would be
SUUNS.
Sons,
Yeah, you would.
and maybe it is, but I've called them SUUNS since day one, so I'm going to stick with it.
And if you're looking just quickly, you might even think it's a W. Swans.
I could see that.
SUUNS.
Could
Yeah,
be
Swins.
swoons.
Swoons.
Anyway.
That's cute.
Yeah.
And technically, it is a W, but it's not a
Exactly.
W. So think about that.
Yeah.
Mine. Blown.
Yeah. Why is it called W and not double V? You tell me.
You just
I'm double
answer.
confused. I'll tell you that much.
Double used.
Yeah.
I'm
Feel
also
double
confused.
used.
I feel double abused by that.
I feel amused.
Oh, double amused.
Well, double amused, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the album is Zero's QC. This is SUUNS' debut album. This is a band that I have loved for a very, very long time, since this album debuted. Let's get double debuted. Let's get into it. Formed in Montreal. Oh, Montreal.
Oh.
Montreal.
Bonjour, mon sweet manger.
Poisson bibliothèque. Aïe, aïe, aïe.
Jacques Cousteau.
Montreal.
Bloc québécois.
Cheese.
Le fromage.
Oh,
Wine. I like that. Wine.
wine.
Okay, so they were formed in 2007 in Montreal by singer and guitarist Ben Sheemy and bass and guitarist Joe Yarmish.
That's a name.
And I know, Joe Yarmish. That just sounds like
That's
a
that's
person.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
It sounds like Jim Jarmusch. Joe Yarmish. Jim Jarmusch.
Yim Yarmish.
Yim Yarmish. There we go. They got together. They were hanging out. They were chilling. They were doing a little beats making session together. They were like, let's make some beats.
Nice.
And then that quickly turned into something more than just beats. And they were like, oh, maybe we have something here that's a little more substantial than just like two friends making some beats. And they quickly recruited a couple other members. One being Liam O'Neill, who is a bassist, and Max Henry, who tickles the ivories, if you will.
Would you say either of them identify as a gold member?
Probably not Max Henry though, because he's since left the band.
Oh. Coal member, maybe.
Yeah. Bronze member.
Yeah.
But good for him, because I guess he's like pursuing higher education. That was his reason for leaving.
Oh, gotcha.
Platinum member. Platinum member.
Yeah. Onyx.
Yeah.
Onyx style. Yeah.
And then in 2009, they worked on this kind of body of music, and they teamed up with one Jace Lassick of the Besnard Lakes. Another
I know
well-known.
them.
Yeah.
They just had a new album recently, I think.
Did they?
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe last year.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah. Hey, gold member. Gold member for him too.
Yeah. Well, and also he's like, I think he's the co-founder, Jace, which is also a sick name. Jace. It's my name, but with a C instead of a K.
It's okay, I guess. Jace. I feel like I wouldn't like Jace. And they wouldn't like me.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's like a Chaz to me.
Yeah, it's got that
Well,
kind of
Chaz
athletic
is-
name about it.
Chaz is on another level. I feel like
Yeah, for
Jace
sure.
is like
Chaz's like little fucking bitch boyfriend.
He definitely has silver hair. He's definitely got silver hair.
That is a harsh take on the name Jace.
I'm sorry, people.
Sorry
named
for any
Jace.
Jaces out there.
Yeah.
He's also the co-founder. I'm pretty sure the co-founder of Break Glass Studios, which is a very kind of critically reputed studio in Montreal where many bands have worked on stuff. There they recorded this album, Zero's QC, and released it to much critical acclaim. Did a bunch of tours, garnered a pretty awesome following, and then I came into the picture and I started listening to them, and I said, hey, these guys are good.
Yeah, let me blow this up for them.
Yeah, let me blow this up. And I would walk into my work every day.
Which is the wall that you're standing in front of. That's your full time.
Yep.
Yeah, and I would put them on the stereo. And my coworkers would be like, the fuck is this? And I'd be like, it's SUUNS. And they'd be like, let's go. But so let's describe the sound, shall we? I
Sure.
wrote notes on it.
Go for it.
Well, first I wrote Pitchfork's description, which is sleek, moody, space prog.
Whoa.
Self-assured, meticulous, and foreboding. It sounds like the work of a much older band. Thank you.
That
Pitchfork.
could maybe be hurtful if they meant age.
Right, like much older, like a bunch
you
of old
sound
men.
old. Yeah.
Right.
But they did.
Like Dawn FM, the Weeknd.
Like Dawn FM.
right.
Sure
Yeah. Like that fucking crinkly ass face looking ass.
Yeah.
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 I think what I love about SUUNS in general, but also in particular this album that really stood out to me is kind of the space between the sounds. Like it's quite dynamic, but also like sparse at the same time. And it rings with sort of a musical maturity that is beyond their years.
Wow.
Should we check it out?
Yeah.
Yo,
check
let's
it
go.
out. This is the first track off of Zero's QC. This is Armed for Peace.
yo.
Hey, yo.
Started off very doomy in the beginning there with that droning noise. I likes that.
Indeed. Yeah, I think the most, I guess, like the simplest description I've read of their sound is art punk, which I think is
It's pretty accurate.
apt. Yeah,
Yeah.
quite accurate. And SUUNS, they've since released like 5 more albums.
They've since released.
They've double released 5 more
Double
albums.
the releaseal.
Exactly, and their latest being The Witness, 2021's The Witness, released in September, and has been kind of reviewed as their most cohesive album yet. So please go check out The Witness, because it's also a great SUUNS album. I saw them perform in 2013 at Sled Island, which is a music festival here in Calgary. And they were headlining the night. Actually, a friend's band was the opener. The band was called Grounders. And I went there with my best friend, Conrad. Hi, Conrad.
Can you hear us through
Conrad,
that wall
please
there,
listen.
Conrad? Do you want to?
Conrad.
Nice.
Conrad.
Knock on
And
the wall.
I've been
And-
keeping you safe. No one's been able to get in.
yeah. And we got wasted and were able to start a mosh pit
Nice.
at the Palomino. Which
You
is
started it. You guys started it.
Oh, yes, fully.
Okay.
Pino
Hell yeah.
Palomino.
At one
Respect
point,
to that.
At one point, I was on Conrad's shoulders. And by the time SUUNS played, the place was nuts, and it was such a great show. And if anybody remembers, 2013 was the year of the Great Calgary Flood. And so when we left the basement of the
course.
Palomino,
Oh man.
the water was like up to our ankles running down the street. And we walked over to a bridge, the Lionsgate Bridge over the Bow River, and we're watching as like pieces of houses were being washed under us, under the bridge. It was an extremely memorable night. And so, yeah, I think if I'm to review this art punk production,
Right.
I think I'll give it 8.8 sine waves out of 10.
8.8.
8.8.
Sine waves.
Sine wave me.
Yeah. We're getting very synthy. Very synthy on this episode.
Yeah.
Indeed.
The synths are coming out.
Nice.
Well, thank you, Jake. Thank you for that lovely review. I gotta also take it back. We've said it in a couple episodes, but if you have perhaps an idea or a business that you would like to share, or we can talk about on this podcast, we'd be willing to do so. Just follow us at Surfing
yeah.
Sonic, send us a message, and we
Yeah,
will
please.
definitely. Please. We've
Come
pitched
on.
my father's book. We've pitched Koa candles.
Come on.
It is time, it is time for us to get more sponsors.
Just do it.
On this show. Please
Come
help
on.
us. But hey, we're gonna move on to perhaps one of the most beloved segments on this lovely show. It is Combat Rock, where of course two of our hosts come into fisticuffs, where they believe they think is the best song. They get to play 30 seconds of any section they would like without the song, throughout the song, and but also make a pitch of why their song is the best. And you know what? We're going to start off with the challenger, the lovely mustache hat wearing Jake. What do you have today, my good sir, for Combat Rock?
Coming in at 145 pounds
Of white hot fury,
of steaming
steaming
Anger.
meaty blood,
and
and rage,
upsetness. Yeah.
and passion.
And
The wall.
the wall
The wall. Don't forget the wall.
coming
Yeah.
in from just in front of this wall.
So what do you do for a living? Oh, wall.
Wall.
I'm a wallist.
I'm a wallist. I
See, don't see the
talk
wall.
about walls. the history of
What a
walls.
stupid question. You see the wall.
No, I
see
don't
my
have a
work.
resume.
His
I have
work
a
is
wall.
behind him. As you can
Resume?
see.
How about a work of art that you can see right now with your own two eyes? What do I do for a living?
Are you familiar with
Do you
a
think this
wall?
wall put up itself?
Do you
Wall!
think I build walls? The answer is wall, of course.
Nice.
Wall of
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, so my track, the winning track of this round of Combat Rock, is from your neck of the woods, boys.
Oh,
He's a loke. He's a Toronto loke. He
loke
is.
bloke.
He is. He's from one of Toronto's most darling indie bands, Hooded Fang. His name is Daniel Lee, and this is his. Yeah, Daniel Lee.
My name's Lee.
your
Yeah,
name is Lee.
Wally.
Wow.
So this is his solo endeavor, Lee Paradise, which is where I am anytime we record one of these episodes. I'm in Lee Paradise,
Yeah.
and
Imagine
this is
being there every day, all day.
every single day. Yeah, it's amazing.
Imagine living in Lee Paradise.
Yeah. This is his newest single. This was just dropped a few days ago because newer is better.
Hot. Hot off the press.
Hot off the press is
Hot
exactly.
off the press.
This is Lee Paradise's Dreamin'.
Leaving in a summer night, we were told it would be alright, and then a dream in the shadow.
you go.
Lee's a paradise. A strong little song there for you.
It's just a
of
hazy,
cour-
dreamy little sample.
Very hazy, very dreamy. But here we come to the man, which looks like he's wearing a Yogi Bear shirt. Or
Sugar Crisp.
Sugar Bear.
Sugar Crisp.
Yeah, it's a
Sugar Bear
Crisp
Crisp. There we go.
Found this at a Salvation Army thrift store in 2010, and it still fits.
And it still
Nice.
fits, and it's lovely. We have
That Sugar Crisp.
it was a tight race apparently, as Woody's told us before we started the show. But Lee,
I can't
Mr.
remember
Lee,
exactly.
what do you have for us? The
Well,
reigning
Jake,
champ.
you said when was this song that you just played released? You said.
Feb 9th.
So you said hot off the press, newer's better. Couldn't agree more. This was released February 11th.
Oh,
This one. Okay?
a day
Couldn't agree.
before.
Couldn't agree more, Jake.
I don't get these releases because there's the wall, so I have to
Yeah.
wait an extra 2 days.
You have to climb the wall
Yeah.
and then go back down. It's a big wall. I wall! Anyway, so this comes from Veggi. He's an American producer, just recently started putting out tracks, from what I understand anyway. And he put out his EP called Liquid on the 11th of February. And it has a couple of cool features. Now, if you don't know anything about Veggi, you should go find his Instagram page. I think it's called Veggi Beats or something like that. But he's a DJ and just general entertainer on there that he mashes up all these random songs that shouldn't fit together but do. He calls the series like these mashups should be illegal, or like these remixes should be illegal or something. It's very entertaining. It's a good follow if you're into music and you're on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. He does it on both. But the reason why I'm playing this specific song, Exceptional, is because it was the first single off of this EP, Liquid, and it's also featuring a Toronto artist, rapper, who was actually in the very, very first episode of Combat Rock, DijahSB, and they were nominated for the Polaris this past year for their Head Above the Waters album. So Dijah, one of my favorite rappers coming up right now. Also, if you follow us on Instagram, you would have seen my face in the last couple of days on the story when I did the exclaim, which Canadian artist are you? And I got DijahSB and Dijah themselves put that on their story because they thought it was so goofy that a skinny, pasty-ass little white kid got DijahSB as their which Canadian artist are you? So, which that is funny. So, shouts out to Dijah for that as well. This song is called Exceptional. It's a jig, it's a jam. Enjoy it.
We live though, I ain't high, but I still got high hopes. The good vibes never show up on time though, so I'm singing like Mariah with the high notes. So fly though, catch me in the sky. Everybody gotta ask me for a ride. Strapped like a thing that you keep on the side at a wedding as a guest might leave with the bride. So sick like Neo was, I fly in and say shit like a hero does. You got L's and your team got 0 dubs. I put y'all behind bars like a CO would, yup. I survived the flood and found strength somehow to get out the mud. So your little accolade don't count to us. Anything that you try won't amount to us.
There you go. DijahSB.
There we go.
Veggi.
Veggi
Yeah.
versus Lee's Paradise. Well, you know where you can vote. We've got, of course, our Twitter poll at Surfing Sonic, as well as our Instagram.
Where's
I
the
forgot
banner?
again. Got the banner.
Oh, the banner! Oh.
Bang,
Hey, we're
bang.
still learning. We're still learning after 28
I'm learning.
episodes.
I'm
doing
learning.
this. Hey, we're learning here. We're learning
But yeah,
here.
sorry. Where can people vote? Go. I interrupted you.
Yeah, on Instagram, our Instagram story at Servin Sonic, same name on the Twitter. We got the Twitter poll where you can vote as well, and find out who comes on top of this episode of Combat Rock, guys.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. It's whether or not I come on top of Jake or Jake comes on top of me.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that.
You know, where on the wall we come.
Yeah. On top.
On the ball,
Yeah.
all over the ball.
Excellent. So, just a quick question for you, Jake. Is Conrad okay? Have you heard from him in the last little bit? Or is it just silent behind that wall there?
So what I understand is that he was in Hamilton.
Oh.
And that was last year. So,
And he got out of there quick. He was like, let me out of here.
well,
I want back into my wall.
what I'm thinking was he tried to get up the wall and he's now just on the other side,
Oh.
just at the base.
Yeah.
So,
Just hanging out.
well,
Not hanging out.
Don FM, you know?
Yeah. No, I get you.
Dawn FM.
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, thoughts and prayers for Conrad.
Thoughts and prayers for Conrad. And Conrad, if you ever listen to this,
We'll have to get him on the show. It sounds like
know
Conrad has to
Which,
come on the show.
which we know you won't. Yeah. Well, great episode, Hunter. Well done. You really kept us in line. Kept us.
Did I sound like I was like freezing? Because guys, it is really cold in this room. I don't understand why it's so cold in this office, but
didn't
I'm
sound
like
like you were
shivering.
freezing. Wow.
I'm like shivering in this room.
I mean, you do look
also
cold,
burnt-
but I think it's just the light on your face.
Oh yeah, I'm probably
It's not a
pale
very
as shit.
warm. Yeah, it's not
I'm
a
pale
warm
as shit.
light.
It's very cold in here. But my folks, we don't turn on the heat to save the money. So
That's such a classic dad.
oh yeah, it is. So there you go.
Yeah,
But
just
well,
freezing
hey,
cold, and it's like, hey, could we not just maybe turn up the
you
heat a
know,
little bit?
bump it up a little,
What?
like
when
a couple
you have
degrees.
your house, when you
Yeah,
have your
exactly.
own house,
Yep.
you can do whatever you want with the thermostat.
Where it's like, oh, just put on more blankets, just put on more clothing. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
but when I've exhausted that,
Yeah,
what,
let's
what-
just
what-
put on.
what's next?
Just put on another sweater.
you got to jog,
Really?
jog on
over
spot.
this?
Yeah, I know that. Well, I wish I had that, but like, where I have to just turn on the shower, blaze the hot water with clothes on. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
You should go check out Losers Weepers. That was probably our first
Our
post.
first post, yeah.
Yeah. Shouts out Losers and Weepers. Maybe
Losers
that'll come back.
Weeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lee's
Yeah, it's
telling me
still-
about that.
Building
Yeah.
hype.
Yeah. Well, it's about building demand. People want it back. You gotta hold it,
And release.
give it to them. Yeah.
Well, you know what we got to do? I think next is serving Sonic beer. We will make a beer. We got to do that. The yellow can, boom.
Make a
Money
beer?
made. Yeah, we make a beer.
Oh shit.
I'm into it.
I think that's what's next.
I don't know if I trust us to pick a good flavor.
Dude, it's like the wine
the
thing.
flavor.
Damn
We
sure.
just get wasted. It's like the wine tasting. We just get wasted trying
Just
beers,
brass
and so we
monkey
eventually
flavor.
are like, that one's good.
Yeah.
Slurping all over.
I think we would get
ourselves.
too adventurous with our flavor. Like, I already know I'm like, yeah, what's fucking weird? Like sriracha beer.
Yeah, let's go.
That's actually maybe
Oh,
not
dude.
that bad.
Let's go.
like a
Let's do
hint
it.
of it, though. A hint of it.
That sounds
Spicy
great.
beer? Yeah.
A spicy
Something
staple
down the
beer.
road, listeners.
Yeah,
Something down
exactly.
the road. If of products to come out on
Yeah.
behalf of our podcast crew here.
So, all right, well, send us off with something inspirational, Hunter.
Winning isn't the only thing. It's the only thing. I got
What?
that wrong. Winning isn't the.
Send us with
Winning-
something confusing, Hunter.
Winning isn't the only thing. Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing.
Nice.
Michael
That's
Scott.
it. Yeah,
Something like that.
that's perfect. Here's
Nice.
Basquiat, which was the winner, the combat rock winner of last episode. Bye, guys.
Peace, people. We'll see you soon. Take it easy.
Bye.
Why you tryna keep me on my bag? I've been rocking out where you been weighing. I work too hard to fall in the man. I need some inspiration, get the basket. Why you tryna keep me on my bag? I've been rocking out where you been weighing. I work too hard to fall and hit the man. I need some inspiration, get the basket. Why you tryna keep me on my bag? Now we finna lose all that we had. Thinking that we wasn't thinking right. And now we both feeling like shit. Let's go get close. For the air, hit me up in my boot. Never change, never lose. Shed some light on my wounds, it's too dark. Always miss the start. The same story, different part. I'm not the author, it's my art. Yeah. Why you tryna keep me on my bag? I've been rocking out where you been weighing. I work too hard to fall in the man. I need some inspiration, get the basket. Why you tryna keep me on my bag? I've been rocking out where you been weighing. I work too hard to fall in the man. I need some inspiration, get the basket. Same beef, same weed. We need more sleep, no beef, yeah. Same beef, same weed. We need more sleep. This ain't short and top, but I got lost the top. Last time I stressed about my money, I was young for real. Open book, I'm living up till I get out. If you think you face me, then you off the bout. Same beef, same weed. We need more sleep, no beef, yeah. Same beef, same weed. We need more sleep. This, same beef, same weed. We need more sleep, no beef, yeah. Same beef, same weed. We need more sleep. This. Why you tryna keep me on my bag? I've been rocking out where you been weighing. I work too hard to fall and hit the man. I need some inspiration, get the basket. Why you tryna keep me on my bag? I've been rocking out where you been weighing. I work too hard to fall and hit the man. I need some inspiration, get the basket.